Hi everyone, my name is Shantasia. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk about success and who defines it and what is it. I think it's probably going to be a rambly video, so I apologize in advance. But I really just wanted to talk about it because I've been seeing on my writing groups lately where people are talking about what defines their success as an author. And I would love if you would drop a line below and let me know what success means to you and what it's going to be looking like or what you dream that it would look like. Because I'm really intrigued by this idea that we define our success by what other people define success as. So for me, that meant my whole life I was raised to believe that my worth revolved around whether or not I had a job as a single woman, but ultimately that my success was truly about whether or not I found a man, got married, and had children. So you can tell that I'm coming from a pretty religious background, but that really did not happen. And I did have a career. I worked for many years in banking, and I was successful. I was good at my job. I had a lot of money. I had a nice car. I had a nice place to live. I had everything that I thought I was supposed to have based on what I had been told as I was growing up. And I ended up washing out, having a breakdown, and losing absolutely everything. And within 8 months, I was homeless and living in a tent in a family member's backyard. So I really wonder if I had ignored all of those things that were telling me, oh, you have to be married. Oh, you can't do this. Oh, you can't do that because then you're going to be a failure. Oh, you can't be a writer. Are you kidding me? Only crazy people are writers, right? But if I had defined my own success for myself at a younger age and had maybe had the freedom to do that, how different would my life look now? I'm not really sure, because I'm sure it would look a lot different. I would have ended up not in the relationship that I ended up in. I would have ended up not going crazy maybe, or maybe just not gone as crazy. I don't know. Who can say where it is that the forks in the road are that define who we are and what we become as we're growing? I'm not really sure. But I've been really thinking about what my success would be as an author. What is my success as an entrepreneur? What is my success as a woman in a religion that maybe doesn't always look favorably upon strong women? Because I may be quiet, I may be ladylike or demure just in my own personal countenance and the way that I am, but at the same time I do have a lot of things to say and I have a lot of opinions, and if you get me into the right situation, I definitely will share those opinions and be completely frank and honest about them. That necessarily isn't always accepted in a faith that really looks at women as not being in the headship. And I'm not trying to start a religious debate. Please don't leave comments of hate and terribleness down below, but I really wanted to think about all of these things because it really can change your life when you start taking control of what your success is, what your success means to yourself, and then moving forward in that instead of being trapped by the mindset of others or the generations past that are trying to maybe impose things that aren't quite relevant anymore in the world that we live in today. I mean, some of it is, but some of it needs to be adjusted, in my opinion. So I am a single woman. I am not married. I do not have children. I have pets. I have a small business that is failing. I have debt, and I have tattoos. And all of those things are a part of who I am. And none of them make me a better person. None of them make me a worse person. They just are choices, consequences, or things that I have chosen for my personal life. And no one can really judge that. And I think where that success definition comes from is we're taking on those outside judgments of ourselves, and we're really allowing ourselves to be shamed into thinking that everything that we do is wrong, nothing we can do is right. And I definitely fall into that trap a lot more than I would hope. I've been really contemplating this idea and really trying to think about what success means. Does success mean that you finished your novel, that is complete, that it is sitting on your desk and it is finished and you don't have to put another word to it and you're thrilled with where it is and you're never going to edit it again and you're just going to set it aside and let it be what it is? Or is success, like some people say, where they're living 100% off of their writing income? They don't have to work anymore. Does that have to be the success of an author? I really don't think it does. I am an author because I write, because I have published things that I have written. So that is what makes me an author. Now, does that make me a success? Up until recently, I really haven't viewed it as a success, because I look back at the poetry that I was writing and the things that I did get published, and I seriously am embarrassed by it, because I've come so far that I don't even want to look at it because it's downright embarrassing. But that is a launching point for the continuation of my dreams of being an author. So is it really a failure? It probably isn't. It's probably just part of the growing process. So right now, I would say that I feel that I will be a successful author when I have released a book into print, whether that is self-publishing or traditionally publishing. I feel like I would like to be a hybrid author, so it doesn't bother me whatsoever if it's traditionally published or self-published. With all of the amazing self-published authors that are out there, it definitely does not have the stigma that it used to when I was a beginning writer, and if you were self-published, you were pretty much a joke. It is definitely not that anymore. The self-publishing platforms are amazing. The ability that we have as authors to promote our works and promote ourselves are phenomenal. And I was researching, and my biggest goal, probably my biggest dream, would be to hit the New York Times best-selling list. I mean, who doesn't want that? To have that nice, pretty seal on your cover. And I was like, well, I have to traditionally publish then, because I'm not going to be able to do that. And that is wrong. You can be a independent published author and hit the New York Times best-selling list. I read about it the other day. It has happened. And so I feel like, oh, well, that can still be my goal. That can still be a part of my success story. So I would just like to encourage you to write your own success story. Sit down and figure out what it is in all the aspects of your life that you would feel that you are successful. Whether it is as a mom, a dad, a writer, an artist, define what that success looks like to you. And then if it's a big dream, define the steps that you have to take to get there, and then work towards them. And just enjoy it, because our lives are really short, and there really is no reason why we should be stuck all up in the ideas of other people, the opinions of other people, when we know our motivations, we know our own mind. And while we should still be considerate and empathetic towards others, we don't need to allow those people to control and dictate the things that we want for our lives and what we see as success for ourselves. So I hope that this was a little inspiring for you. I know these thoughts have been rattling around in my brain, and I'm sorry if it seems a little disjointed and garbled. But I really wanted to talk about it while it was fresh in my mind, because it is a new idea for me. I do come from a background of abuse, so this is kind of like a liberating idea for me. So I'm probably a little bit more excited and a little bit more crazy about it than maybe most people would be. But I do want to hear your thoughts. You would think that things like this would be foundational, but if we're being taught that society defines us, and our roles as our gender defined us, and the roles in our faith define us, and all those other things that make us who we are those sole things that define us, then we're really missing out on a lot of different things in life. And I don't want to do that anymore. I want to live my life fully, and I'm sure you want to as well. So thanks again for listening. I enjoyed talking to you about this subject. If you would like me to do more of a formal video about this, I'm sure I can come up with a way to do it. Just drop a comment down below and I'll be happy to get back to you. And as always, I enjoy hearing from everybody, so make sure to leave a comment. Go check out my Instagram. I do have inspirational writing pictures that go up every Sunday, and I love getting all the responses from those, so make sure to check them out. I also have a freebie that is going live on my website. All you have to do is join my mailing list, and you can get a free character worksheet. It will be emailed to you, and you can download it and edit it at your leisure. I will see you next time. Have a wonderful day.